Welcome back to Squarely on the Level. My name is Darren Kellerman. I'm working in conjunction with the Grand Lodge of Kansas. We have a lot of stuff to cover in this week's episode, most of which you haven't heard about yet. So before we get to that, we want to cover something really important. This past week, a tornado from around the Lawrence area up to Linwood in North Kansas City. We sent out the call to lodges asking them to answer up, and so far as we know, no lodges received any major damage, and no master masons, or no masons in general, that we are aware of suffered any damage. But you know how masons are. We tend not to tell anybody when we're needing help. So if you know of a brother master mason, his wife or his family is needing some assistance from the recent storm damage, reach out to the Grand Lodge of Kansas. You can do it through me here, squarelylevel@kansasmason.org. We'd like to just get in contact with them, see if there's anything we can do to help them. But the lodges in the affected area: Wyandotte Lodge up in North Kansas City, Henry Lodge in Tonganoxie, Linwood Lodge, the two Lawrence Lodges, all those have called in and they're doing okay. Also, Palmyra Lodge in Baldwin City was also in that potentially affected area. So, moving on to this week's episode, lots of content. And I'd intended to go live last week, but I just couldn't figure out how to get YouTube Live to work. And I didn't want to do the usual Facebook Live, because as a subscriber, you deserve this exclusive content. And today, you're going to get it. So, coming up, well, several things coming up. Lots of stuff coming up, actually. But there's three. And then I'm going to close out with something that you can do for your lodge for Masonic education if you're having trouble doing that and you're not a big public speaker. But the first thing up, you're looking to improve yourself, improve your lodge. What can you do? Hey, Leadership Academy. Leadership Academy is not just for lodge officers, and it's construed that way a lot, but definitely not. And we'll cover this some more in later episodes, and then we'll do some posts on Grand Lodge social media of people's thoughts on Leadership Academy. But every Mason can be a leader. You just have to decide what you want to do. This year's Leadership Academy is packed full of great breakout sessions. The number one question we get every year, it's, believe it or not, it's not who's the guest speaker going to be. It's what are the breakout topics. And for some reason, we at Grand Lodge, and I'm going to call myself part of that because I'm part of the media team, we just seem to sit on that and dilly-dally around, and we don't get that out until like 2 or 3 weeks out, and that just is not right. You want to know what the topics are for Leadership Academy so you can decide if you want to go. Well, one, yeah, you want to go. Two, where are they at? Well, you know, the Deputy Grand Master each year is in charge of that. So I just happened to look into the Deputy Grand Master's file, and look what I found. The Leadership Academy schedule. Now, this is not finalized. This is the tentative topics. I understand that the titles are going to change. The instructors are locked in. And wow, we've got some packed instructors. Mark Reeder, Derek Hawkett, Doug Wilkinson, Warren Hughes, Alex Powers, Dave Hendricks, Grand Secretary Tracy Bloom, Curtis Utley, Lincoln Wilson, Rob McClarty, and then the Grand Master and Deputy Grand Master, as well as the Grand Secretary, will be presenting as well. Oh, what are the breakout sessions? It looks like we're going to be covering membership retention. Holy wow. Right there, I want to go. What can my lodge, what can I do to help retain members? That alone will be worth the price of admission. Talk about Master Achievement Planning. That is that Lodge Achievement Award. We've talked about on this very show about that. That's not a Master's Award. That's a Lodge Award. And this breakout session is going to tell you and help you along the path to do that. It's not hard. And less than 10% of lodges get it every year. Should be like 70 or 80%. There's going to be planning for success for your lodge. If you're wanting to be a district or area deputy, there's going to be a leadership class on that. And a month or two ago, we talked really quick about an elevator speech. What is an elevator speech? Should you step into an elevator, presumably, if somebody sees your lapel pin, your ball cap, your belt buckle, your ring, and they say, what is a Freemason? What's it all about? You essentially have, from the time that person asks to the time you get to the bottom floor, or wherever they're going, that door opens, to explain it all to them. Well, I'm not sure it can be done in 30 seconds or 60 seconds. About 5 minutes is what it takes to get a good elevator speech. But even developing a 5-minute, let alone a 30 or 45-second speech, is really difficult. So we're going to have a complete breakout session on that. 40, 45 minutes by a Kansas Lodge Research Director Alex Powers is going to be talking about how to develop that elevator speech. So again, another session worth the price of admission. Dave Hendricks from the foundation is going to talk about public relations. So many lodges struggle about how to publicize what they do. Dave Hendricks is going to tell us the foundation knows how to do it. That's what they do. You know what I'm talking about. So another great breakout session. Grand Secretary is going to talk about the new database that we're using now, but more importantly, the Our Lodge page. If you don't know what that is, you got to get somebody there, because if your lodge is not using the Our Lodge page feature, this is a free app, it is a free communications tool for your lodge. It just requires somebody to go in there and do a few things every now and then. Right now, it's able to tell every member that has an email registered when the lodge meetings are, what the activities are, and they can find out what Grand Lodge activities are for free. This isn't how much that costs the lodge. Nothing. We're going to talk about it at the Leadership Academy. Curtis Utley, he's going to talk about conducting a lodge audit. Wow, this is the most misunderstood and least done thing that's required by a bylaw, how to conduct a lodge audit. If you're going lodge audit, Darren, yeah, guess you need to go. And Curtis will tell us about that. And then we're going to talk about some leadership. And it's not going to be about a title. It's going to be about servant leadership. We've got a lot of great breakout sessions here at the Leadership Academy. When is it going to be? It's September 13 and 14. Actually, it's on the 14th. It's going to be at the Overland Park Doubletree Hotel. But on the 13th, we're going to have a table lodge. And if you've been to a table lodge before, you're going to want to come to this one, because this is going to be a whole different format. It's not going to be as structured, be a little bit more lively, if you will. And I'm not talking about the chatter from the sidelines. I'm talking about the toasts and the speakers between. This would be a whole new table lodge concept at the Grand Lodge level for us. We've got someone special coming in to help us plan this, and it's going to be a great event. Make sure you go to kansasmason.org, get registered for the Leadership Academy. If you want to make reservations, stay at the Doubletree, you sure can. The link is right there on the Grand Lodge webpage. Again, kansasmason.org, click on events, the news, and then click down to the events and registration. I'll post the link in the description down below. Well, what's next coming? Oh yeah, wasn't that nice? Instead of waiting until right before, there it was for you. I'll post some more of that as we go. Just announced this past week, Kansas Lodge of Research has scheduled their next virtual education event. What am I talking about? If you're a member of the Kansas Lodge of Research, it's really difficult to travel across the state sometimes to the different meetings that they have. Well, in addressing that issue, Director Alex Powers has started scheduling virtual education events. If you're watching this, you can attend the virtual education put on by the Kansas Lodge of Research if you're a member. The next one coming up is going to be on June the 7th. It's Tuesday night at 7 p.m. The speaker is going to be Angel Millar. And you're like, never heard that name, Darren. Well, you need to. He's got books coming out. He's got a new book coming out next year. If you Google him on Amazon, not Google him on Amazon, that sounds silly. If you go on Amazon, type in his name, you can see several of his books. He's going to be speaking on fringe Masonic societies. I think that's right. There should be something popping up right over my shoulder here somewhere about now to correct me. But he is an awesome speaker. He's already written a book, Freemasonry, Foundation of the Western Esoteric Tradition. This guy is a spiritual and self-development author. He's done podcasts. He is a very in-demand speaker around the United States and parts of the world. And he's going to be coming to me and you right here through this very medium on Tuesday, June the 7th. I'm sorry, June the 11th at 7 p.m. So if you're not a member of the Kansas Lodge of Research, go to their website, become a member. This is included in your membership for free. I'll put the link down in the description. So just click on that. How to become a member, how to register. Bam. Do that too. I also understand, just in some conversation with Director Powers, that he's looking at having an open house type event possibly in August, almost a month before the Leadership Academy, which will be open to all Master Masons. And it's just going to be kind of a peek into why you should become a member of the Kansas Lodge of Research. Do I think it's going to happen? I do. He's kind of seems up in the air about it, because maybe that's not what he's supposed to do, and he's supposed to drive membership for the Kansas Lodge of Research. Well, guess what? Why not have the open house, open the door, and bam, we can show you why you should be a member at the Kansas Lodge of Research. And for you lodges that meet on Tuesday night, what a great Masonic education session. Poke a little social media, have your computer there, and just go to ease or whatnot, and watch this virtual education. I will put all the links down below. What else we got going here? Oh my goodness. Right as we're going to take this, I got an email from a brother up in Marysville Lodge. I went up to Marysville up in April, and I helped them with the Discovering Freemasonry. What is Discovering Freemasonry? For those of you not knowing, well, you should know, but that's on me for not letting you know sooner. Discovering Freemasonry is a program to help show the community and potential interested folks what Freemasonry is. You want to invite the media, you want to invite women, you want to invite young men, young women, to show them all the good things Freemasonry is doing for their community. Some lodges don't feel they have the ability to put that on themselves, so they contact their district or area deputy, and they get with Grand Lodge, and we get a speaker to your lodge. And that's what happened in April up at Marysville. I got an email today that one of the young men that attended that event has submitted a petition. So that's not something I did, that's something Marysville Lodge did. That's something your lodge can do. The Grand Lodge Membership Committee wants to help you and your lodge put on a Discovering Freemasonry or other type event to help publicize, showcase your lodge and what all the good it's doing for your community. All those scholarships that were given out, almost $200,000 this year, or just over $200,000 in scholarships. We need people to know that. Send all those kids to band camp. Oh yeah, by the way, band camp coming up this first week of June out in Dodge City. Don't forget that. A lot of the community around the state doesn't know that we're sending those kids to band camp for free. This Discovering Freemasonry is a great way to tell them about that. All the things that the Kansas Masonic Foundation does, all the programs that we have with military affairs, with the literacy, with the speech, with the cancer research. The general public still doesn't know those things, and that's on us because we're this secret society and all that supposedly. And dadgummit, that's not right. The secrets are what happens in that lodge room on degree night. That's it, folks. And for you non-Masons watching, there you go. You want the secrets of Masonry? That's what they are. They're what happens when we do our initiation and stuff. They're the secret words and how we know each other. It's those types of things. It's not a secret about what we do. Heck, you look in the phone book. You come to almost any town in Kansas, you can see our logo on the door. That's not a secret society. And you Freemasons that are watching need to be proud that you're a Freemason and publicize it. Bring people into your lodge. Talk about it at work. They don't have to be a man over 18 who believes in a single deity. It should be everybody. If you're proud to be a Mason, tell them when you're going to lodge. People at work should know when your lodge night is. That's how you publicize your lodge. Now, when you get people into lodge, you got to keep them in lodge. And that's a big thing for a lot of people. And over the past decade, we've really been pushing Masonic education in lodge. Because nobody wants to come to lodge for a business meeting. Well, there's a few of you out there that do, and okay, I'm not one of those people, and I don't think if you're watching this, you're one of those people. The problem becomes is, Darren, what do? We don't have anybody that wants to get up and speak. We don't know where to go for the resources. Well, if you've watched the show before, maybe you missed it. We have some resources on the Grand Lodge webpage, www.kansasmason.org. You know it. And go to the membership area, and there's some educational links in there. We have some the Leadership Academy materials from several years ago, and the presentations are all right there. But even then, it's still difficult for some people because they don't like to get up. Maybe we don't have that clicker. We can't do the slideshow. You don't need that. But somebody has to get up to talk and read to get things started. Well, I may have an option for you. Every lodge in the state of Kansas gets one of these every month. It is the Short Talk Bulletin from the Masonic Service Association of North America. Usually the secretary piles them on his desk or they're out in the foyer of your lodge and nobody reads them. Guys, gals, this is a great source of Masonic education. And in some lodges, a person gets up and reads that, and ideally it should start a discussion about the topic of that. The problem may be is that nobody wants to get up and read it. Well, the Masonic Service Association of North America has a somewhat of a solution. And you have to go online to their website, and I posted it down below in the description, and it is the shorttalkbulletin.com. And you go on there, and there is an audio version of some of these, and some that they have on there are really old that you've never most likely seen nor heard before. But there's an audio option. If you bring in your cellular device, if your lodge allows that, or your lodge has some Wi-Fi, or actually it's downloadable, so you could download this stuff onto something that could play it back during lodge. You could put it there, play it, and ideally a discussion would ensue. There are some really good topics. And the thing is, it's a start. Somebody else reading it, and some of these have the author reading the Short Talk Bulletin that wrote the article, and that is really good because there's nothing better than an author reading his own material, so you can get the inflections and those things in there. But shorttalkbulletin.com, this is provided by the Masonic Service Association of North America. Well, what's the cost for that? Nothing. You can't beat that. There is a donation spot there. The Masonic Service Association does a ton of great things for Masons around the world. They're the ones that put out those relief efforts. So if you feel so inclined, hit the donate button and give a little money to those folks. But you don't have to. This is a free resource for you and your lodge. So if nothing else, click on that, go through there, and listen to one of these things. It is great, and you need to do it. So that's it for this week. I've got some big news coming up next week about the Grand Lodge. Heck, why are we waiting? Grand Lodge building. There's been a lot of talk about it over the last few communications. What's he going to say? We've told lodges for years, it's not about your lodge. It's about the brothers in that lodge. You can have a lodge anywhere. And a lot of lodges in Kansas struggle as they fight the bills on their lodge trying to keep it afloat. And that's been happening at the Grand Lodge of Kansas. There's a beautiful building down there at 320 Southwest 8th. It's on, I call it Capitol Square. It is on the northwest corner across from the Capitol building there in Topeka. Beautiful. Grand Master's office has a view out the window of the Capitol Dome, as does the Secretary's office. It's a beautiful building right there on Capitol Square in Topeka. The thing is, the upkeep on that building is getting horrendous. It is a building that's been around for over 100 years now. And as we struggle with membership, supposedly, costs going up, membership going down, all that stuff, are we attached to this building so much that we want to start, putting the per capita through the roof just to keep this grand old building? No, we don't. It's not about the building. It's about the Masons in Kansas. So I was informed just hours ago before I started recording this that they have reached a contract on the Grand Lodge building in Topeka, and they will slowly start moving out of there. Location unknown of the new Grand Lodge building, but we will be out by October of 2019. So to the Grand Master and Council Administration, I know that was a huge, tough decision. I know Grand Master Presley started pushing on that during his term. Grand Master Talbot was working hard, and he really wanted to get it done in his term. And Grand Master Morrow now has put the closing on that. It sounds like, along with the Council Administration, and that is a super hard decision for those guys. But it comes down to dollars and cents. And that's cents and cents. So it's not about the building. It's about the guys that make up your lodge. We'll have a new place for the museum, all those books, and it'll be even better than what we have now. So as we go through the next few months transitioning to a new location for the Grand Lodge, if you can help us move from the big building there to the next big building we're going to have, we'd appreciate that. And I'll keep you informed here of what we're doing. Also, Chuck Hoffmeister. He has been the Grand Lodge caretaker since 1974. Yeah, 1974. He is at the Grand Lodge building most days by 5 o'clock, if not before. He's the one that gets that building warmed up, gets the boiler cranked up. Yeah, we have a boiler at the Grand Lodge building. He's the one that puts the polish on the floors, takes the dust off all those picture frames and all those cabinets in the museum. He's the one that keeps everything squared away. He's the guy that somehow gets the picture of the Grand Master in the frame at the moment the Grand Master is installed. It's crazy. If you go to Grand Lodge on the day of the excommunication, the new Grand Master's picture is there. He's like Santa Claus. Nobody ever sees him do it, but it just happens. I've been there. I go there the night before. It's the current Grand Master. And then I come in as soon as I can right after Grand Lodge, and it's the new Grand Master. And Chuck was at Grand Lodge. I don't know how he's doing it. Chuck is 91 years old. He's announced his retirement. We'll have an announcement on the Grand Lodge social media page. Let me look it up here while we're reporting. I know we're going long today, but there's a ton of information that you haven't got yet. And we may not get it through social media. It's difficult sometimes. And here it is right here. I was just sent a small press release. Friday, June the 14th, 1 to 3, we're going to have a retirement open house for Chuck Hoffmeister. 1974. He's worked under 45 Grand Masters and 5 Grand Secretaries. Think about that. 45 Grand Masters. Started with us in 1974. So, on behalf of the craft, thank you, Chuck. If you get a chance, drop a line to Brother Chuck. Either shoot him an email or a thank you letter would be best. He's one of those hidden guys that's getting things done. So many of those guys at your lodge, Chuck's the guy at Grand Lodge. So that's it for this week's episode of Squarely on the Level. If you liked what you saw, take a moment, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the notification button as well. That way you'll be notified every time we upload new content. I'm Darren Kellerman, reminding you to keep it squarely on the level.